What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be checking out 3 stores in Southern Connecticut. First one being House of Fins. They had this amazing display tank. The second you walked through the door, it couldn't help but catch your eye. And, you know, it was really nice. I love the way these in-walls are set up, where it just looks like you can look through, see the room on the other side. It does add a little bit of a barrier. I would love to have one of these, you know, in between like my kitchen and my living room or something like that when I buy a bigger house in the future. Now, as far as their fish collection, they had a lot of really great fish. Some stuff, you know, your regal tanks, your clownfish that you're going to see everywhere, but a lot of fish that you won't find normally. I mean, some of these, that Sohal tang was huge. You know, the powder blue there, again, it's a very large fish. You know, some of these were just really, really nice display, you know, centerpiece fish that would just look amazing in any tank. Now, as far as price, like this Yerpul here, it's expensive. I mean, some of the fish here were really expensive, and while it makes sense because they have all these rare fish, they have, you know, they're very large at that, so I mean, there should be a high price. You could tell that their target audience is people that have been invested in the hobby for a while and don't really have much of a, you know, budget restriction. Someone like myself, probably not where I would do most of my shopping, just because. But that being said, you know, really nice pieces that I haven't seen anywhere else. So if I was looking for a specific centerpiece fish, you know, it might be a consideration. Inverts, on the other hand, were pretty reasonable. I mean, they had some really cool pieces that were reasonably priced. You know, the electric flame scallops, you know, the lobsters, the shrimp, the snails, all of which were reasonably priced with what I see in the area. As far as coral is concerned, again, it's the same as the fish. They were really nice, but higher priced. So if you're looking for, you know, a place where you're gonna sneak out a deal and get that, you know, frag and grow it out, it's gonna be great, and you're looking to get that really cheap, this is not the place for you. But if you're looking for nice pieces that are gonna grow out and, you know, already are mini colonies, then this place really is for you, because it really was some amazing specimens. Alright, I just got to Greenwich Aquaria. So we're gonna check this place out and see what they have to offer. It was only like an 8-minute drive from House of Fins, so, you know, we're kind of just making a, you know, swath through this part of, you know, Southern Connecticut. Now, the store itself is kind of laid out weird. Like, the display tank was way off to the side, and then your fish selection, you know, on your left. The fish selection was pretty standard, if I'm being honest. Like, this wrasse here was super cool, but in general, he was most of what they had. Like, everything else is pretty standard. Your simple wrasses, you know, your cardinal fish, clownfish, damselfish, anthias, like chromis. I mean, it wasn't anything that was really blowing me away, but that is good, having the 2 stores next to each other. I mean, you need that mix for this being more of an entry-level store in general. They did have some nice pieces, but I mean, it's a good fit for someone that's entry-level into the hobby, looking to get their first couple fish, you know, not trying to spend too much money. Like, all their prices were pretty reasonable. All their prices were pretty standard, affordable. Like, you could get in, buy some fish here, be happy, and not have broken the bank. As far as fish, very nice selection. Corals, more affordable than the last one, and honestly, some pretty big, you know, colonies. I'm impressed, because a lot of the places around Massachusetts just have these little frags, and this, you know, down here they seem to be selling, you know, bigger grown out frags where they're starting to become mini colonies and everything. The coral selection they had was nice. I really liked all they had to offer. Again, as you can see, like, a lot of these are little mini colonies. You're not buying the standard little frag, you're getting a nice portion, which was super cool to see. and reasonably priced. Like, yes, it's expensive, but it's a really nice piece, so it should be. Got some more here. You know, everything from your gorgonians to your acans, your, you know, bubble corals, a couple zoas, not too many, honestly. You know, some chalices, some hammers, you know, everything really nice. And honestly, my camera's not picking up the colors as well as it should. They had a lot of rock flower nems, and these being priced at, you know, $65 a piece, while yes, they're small, was very reasonable. This display tank was great. You could tell it had been set up for a very long time. All of the SPS and everything in there had branched out into these really large colonies. Very reminiscent of what you would see if you were in, you know, the ocean out there scuba diving and stuff, not the tiny little frag. All in all, I was very impressed with this store. Great store for, you know, the entry-level hobbyist, or even, you know, advanced hobbyist who still is somewhat budget friendly. So great store to see, lots of great, you know, offerings, and definitely would check it out more if I was in the area. Last on our list is Life Aquatic. Now this store really needs to work on their Google presence, because I almost didn't find it. Like, it's not in Google Maps unless you happen to search specifically for this one. You know, if you just type in aquarium store or something like that in Google Maps, it's not going to pull it up. But it's a great store, especially for like beginner hobbyists. It has a lot of your basic fish, your basic corals. Now, you're not going to go here if you're looking for a you know, stunning centerpiece, you know, that costs a ton of money. Like, they don't have your Yerpal tang, for example, but everything was just really good, really healthy fish and inverts and everything. Speaking of inverts, their inverts were so much cheaper. Like, I would make a trip down from Massachusetts just to go buy inverts here, because they were so much cheaper than what I can get them for up in Massachusetts. Like, I would spend between $5 and $15 depending on the type of snail, and here the most expensive I got was a Mexican turbo the size of, you know, like an extra large golf ball, essentially. Like, I don't know what to consider it. But it was $5. Like, most of them were, you know, $2 to $3 for snails, and it was fantastic. So I got $75 worth of snails, and again, if these die off eventually, I will probably make a trip down just for that one reason. As far as corals, nothing, again, crazy. I didn't see anything that like blew my mind, really blew me away, but they're just some nice stuff. You know, again, if you're looking entry level, this is where to go. This clownfish is apparently 25 years old. He's had this same clownfish for 25 years. It's doing great. You know, it'll turn here in a second, and you'll see it is just a massive clownfish. Far different from the standard, you know, 1 to 2 inch we usually see in our tanks. This mangrove over here was super cool. Now, he said this was about 15 years old. The other one there he just got not too long ago from someone else. But just a nice little tank. Like, I could totally see if you scape that out with some coral and everything, it would be a fantastic setup. Either way, check this store out. A lot of great stuff. Hey everybody, I hope you like this, you know, kind of informal video setting. I just wanted to shoot, you know, an update on the trip I just went on, the different stores I saw. I will leave you with this. While I liked every store that I went to see, my one warning is, regardless of how fancy the store is, just be careful with what you put directly into your tank. All 3 of the stores I saw this past Saturday had sick or dying or diseased fish. You know, so just be very careful with what you're getting, regardless of how fancy the store is. Do not trust and just dump in prey and put it in your system. Do something. Come up with whatever that system is for you, even if it is just observation. It is better that that fish dies separate from your main display tank. So just be careful, everyone. That's really all I'm trying to say. But, you know, go check these stores out. Regardless of that, I thought they were fantastic. I mean, the amount of money that exists in like House of Fins, for example, in livestock is just fantastic. And being able to see that and experience all those fish that, if I'm being honest, I will never be able to afford. Check out all three of these shops. Subscribe, stay tuned so you can see as I'm releasing more videos. And take it easy.